Rivalry, rivalry, rivalry. It has been going from a long time. Whether it may be economical rivalry between India and China, whether it may be an Indian cricket match or Pakistan cricket match, or whether between siblings fighting for the remote first. It is going from a long time. But in this video, we are going to talk about rivalry between two biggest giant techs, Apple and Microsoft.
Hello, I'm Bill Gates, Chairman of Microsoft. In this video, you're going to see the future. Windows.
Shaken, but he was not injured. The hit squad piled on with two more pyres, but at the moment he got away. Gates went inside, wiped his face clean, and made no comment. He then went ahead with his scheduled meeting. No word on the motive for this attack.
1976, Steve Jobs, Steve Wozniak and Ronald Wayne co-founded the company Apple. After these trio, they launched the first product, that is Apple I. Soon after, they launched Apple II, which remarked the starting of personal computing for the masses. One of the main faces of Apple company was Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs took Apple to some huge places. Apple was not been able to be this big without the help of Steve Jobs in the team.
Technology, the computer store. Introducing Apple II, the easy-to-operate home computer. Just hook it up to your TV to create dazzling color displays. Or you can balance your checkbook. Kids can teach themselves arithmetic. Or the family can invent their own Pong games. The possibilities are endless. It's called Apple II, the personal computer. See it at High Technology, the computer store.
In mid-1970s, Bill Gates and Paul Allen, two visionaries with a passion of computers, started Microsoft in New Mexico. Their goal was to put computers on every desk in every home. Microsoft's early success came from the development of a basic interrupter for the Altair 8800, paving the way for partnerships with the other hardware manufacturers. Bill Gates, under his leadership, now Microsoft became the world's largest personal computer software company. The company's flagship product, the company's OS product, Windows operating system, has become the world's largest operating system.
When you look at both of the companies, that is Microsoft and Apple at the same time, you see that Microsoft was mainly focused on the software products, whereas Apple was focusing on the hardware products. They both knew, Steve Jobs and Bill Gates knew that the tech world is going to boom. Both saw the opportunities and both wanted to grab the opportunities that was given in front of them. And when you look at the interviews of both of these people, you see that both of them were really focused on the opportunities and on the market. Steve Jobs focused on bringing personal computing to every single person out there, whereas Bill Gates focused on bringing and enriching the Microsoft software to every single person. While this all changed and turned out to be the biggest rivalry in the world of business, when Microsoft decided to enter the world of personal computing and introducing their own OS system, that is operating system, to the world. And this all turned out to be the biggest competition for Apple at that time. But Apple was way ahead of its time, as Steve Jobs has created his separate fan base for the Apple users. While Apple was going way ahead of its time and beating all the competition on the way, Microsoft was finding it very difficult to enter the world of personal computing at that time.
However, all of this had to change when it took turn for a Microsoft. This happens when Steve Jobs was fired from his own company in 1985. Apple's stock price was declining and the users were becoming disengaged with the lack of innovations in the company due to absence of leader who is very visionary. Whereas on the other hand, Bill Gates saw it as an opportunity. The opportunity to capture the world market of computers, where he kept improving and innovating new operating systems and operating softwares, which was far better than other operating systems.
After facing a huge downfall in the company, Apple finally decided to get Steve Jobs back in the team. After they convinced Steve Jobs to become the CEO of the company, Steve changed almost everything and anything in the company.
When you grow up, you tend to get told that the world is the way it is, and your life is just to live your life inside the world, try not to bash into the walls too much. But life can be much broader once you discover one simple fact.
He demolished all the main products that was about to be launched in the market and focused on some simple and unique products with innovation at the same time. His innovative products, and one of the innovative products of Steve Jobs is Apple phones. Apple smartphone, when he was introduced to the world market, it disrupted the smartphone industry and it was one of the most dominant player at that time. After coming back as the CEO of Apple, the share price and the stock market of Apple went skyrocketed and also the sales boomed at that time. Apple was saved by Steve Jobs at that time.
An iPod, a phone. Are you getting it? And we are calling it iPhone.
While all of this was happening, as Steve Jobs was hired as the CEO of Apple, Microsoft hired a new CEO for its company. And I guess that was not the very nice choice for Microsoft, as this person had no knowledge about Microsoft and no knowledge about the smartphone industry. Take a look at this video.
Pulls out this iPhone. What was your first reaction when you saw that?
$500 fully subsidized with a plan? I said, that is the most expensive phone in the world, and it doesn't appeal to business customers because it doesn't have a keyboard, which makes it not a very good email machine. Right now, well, let's take phones first. Right now, we're selling millions and millions and millions of phones a year. Apple is selling 0 phones a year. And let's see, what's the expression? Let's see how the competition goes.
Obviously, when you look at that video, you see that person had no knowledge about how to enter the smartphone industry. And because of this, Microsoft faced little bit of downfall in that time. Because of this, Microsoft was not able to enter this industry of smartphone and couldn't even capture a very small percentage in the smartphone industry. But this was not the end of Microsoft, as Microsoft was also better in many other things too. They were better and the best at the software services, and they were dominating the OS systems that they were providing to the entire world for the personal computers that they were using. And also, Microsoft right now is diversified itself into gaming. They have acquired Xbox and PS, which are dominating the gaming industry in the entire world. The story of rivalry between Apple and Microsoft is very interesting and is not subsequent and is limited to the story that we are telling you. There are a lot of scenes that goes behind the companies between both of these, which continues the rivalry between both of them. And right now they are focusing on taking over the AI world, which is going to be dominating the entire world in the future upcoming market.
The rivalry will go on in the future too. It will never going to stop. But instead of arguing about what is better, which is not, we can learn from this case study is how two entrepreneurs come in the market and dominate the world by their sure hard work and persistence, which further leads in the clash of these two companies in war of AI. If you want to know a mind-blowing story behind AI, you can check this video out.